Right, so far, if it's actually made it into the podcast, we've discussed the cutscene at the beginning of Destiny when you open it up this week, and that's it. And we've been here for 30 minutes.
Yeah, we have.
Everyone.
I mean, all in all, I'd say it was a very productive 30 minutes. I don't see what the problem is.
You know how much of that 30 minutes is going to make it into the podcast, don't you? Two.
None of it.
Two of the 30.
30 seconds worth.
Yeah,
In that
probably.
case, let me go ahead and reiterate what I was saying earlier.
Right. Let's try this again. Once more with feeling, guys. Once more with feeling. And bandwidth, for God's sake!
There it is.
There it is, feeling.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. A show where we discuss tips, tricks and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more. What makes us different? Well, we're not streamers or YouTubers, we just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 news, information and opinions. We encourage your questions and feedback, and you can contact us either by email, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com, or on Twitter at 2titans_hunter. Now, on with the show. Oh God.
You sound like you're in a tin can far away.
I'm on my way back to my hotel, so if you guys could wait literally 10 minutes, I can be on the cast.
No.
Right after you said you needed a replacement?
Well, I was expecting to work all day today and tomorrow, and it turns out I'm smarter than I thought I was. So
I had a plan
That's a
as well.
surprise. That's a
I had
surprise.
a really good plan.
what was the plan, man?
This week on the show, we've got Robot Respawn. We don't need you.
We can have both. Yeah, they
No,
can't
no.
tell which one is which.
They will buy that voice quality.
Mine will be better momentarily. So I'm just going to be here. Taka until I get to the hotel. No, I actually completely forgot about what time it is because the time change here is all wonky.
Right after. Never mind, I already said that.
What? No, you can still stay here. You don't have to go away. I mean,
No,
you made the time.
No,
You
no,
can
I
be-
was.
He doesn't want to give up his chair now. You gave
He
him the
doesn't
chair.
have to give up. He can have the chair. I'm just going to be standby.
What I was talking about was the fact that he said he needs someone to replace him. That's what I was going to say again.
Look, if it makes you feel any better, nobody can replace me, my friend.
I can replace all of this audio with Robot Respawn. Trust me. There we go. There's a robot already.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, Respawn. You sound just like Night Demon used to when he would try to talk to us. Yep. You sound like a modem. Hey, it's my other half with all the kills, laying waste to Iron Banner through more bullets.
Do I exist? Am I a real boy? I feel like a real
You are
boy.
a real boy, and you have all the bullets.
I have all the bullets. I'd just like to say I haven't prepared at all because I want people to get my raw reactions. That's cool, right?
Hot takes.
We're here for the hot takes and hot mics.
Every time I go to start the show, I go into. So yeah, I suppose we better.
With the way
They have. I suppose we better get the train wreck of the show that's started in some kind of fashion.
It'd be less of a train wreck if I bailed, like, because it seems that you have
No, it's
plenty of people.
just
I don't want to.
More the merrier. That's what they all say.
no.
I don't want to cause you heartburn with the podcast. I don't mind causing you heartburn everywhere else in your life, but the podcast specifically.
Let's just say, right, okay, I'll introduce everybody. I'm your host, Night Demon. We have Parody.
Hi.
We have Panoramix.
Hi.
And we have AZPlayz.
Yo.
We also, somewhere in the background, have the hunter that knows nothing that's traveling. So we have the worst audio ever until he actually reaches his hotel room. But he's messed up my whole entire plan because the plan was he wasn't going to be here this week. he was going to be a robot that I was going to cut up audio from old podcasts.
Respawn soundboard.
Yes.
You start a new game. Is Respawn really in the podcast?
Ooh.
And you can have comments and give away prizes to whoever picks the correct answer.
I've just got so much footage, so much audio. So that would have been fun to play, but we can't play that this week because he showed up. So welcome to the show, everybody. Did I say AZ was here? AZ's here as well. I think I said AZ was here. I give up. I've lost it already. So there's no problem with you all being here. It's just
I think you
just
did.
the hunter. That's the
Craig,
problem.
Craig will keep you all straight. That's the beautiful of Craig. That's the beauty of Craig. He will put all of us on our own track. So when I take up my role as the guy who's going to eat through the entire podcast, then all of our roles will be fulfilled.
Nom nom nom.
It wouldn't be our show if there weren't audio of somebody eating halfway through or all the way through. It's just
Yeah.
There we go.
No.
Are we good now? Are we good? Can we hear me? Tick tock, bebop, beep beep boop.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good.
So speaking of the robots, now that we've half started this show, and I figured Nadim will drop in an actual intro at some point. I think the big question when we turn on my Xbox this week,
Titans and Hunter and a Titan and a
Hunter,
another Titan. Yeah.
another Hunter, because
Hunter.
there are no Warlocks; they don't exist. But
All
I mean, the Warlocks are trying to get some. The Warlocks are trying to assert their dominance by having a character that they want us to care about, and that character wants to go up against a giant angry Warmind, and I don't know what he's thinking, but that's what he's trying to do. So I mean, where do you guys land on the whole Osiris versus Rasputin, the Warmind? If you had to choose a side, now granted, when Destiny had us choose sides last time, it didn't matter, and it was absolutely pointless and meant nothing to anyone, because you could do it per character. But let's just assume for a moment that Destiny actually says, okay, next season you actually have to join a side, and maybe it'll actually matter. Whose side would you join?
Like
Where'd
if
you
they
come
tallied votes and like somebody got voted off the island, sort of.
Yeah, voted off the island, or they're like, okay, you get one experience, or even your account. If you side with the Warmind, here's how this season plays out for you. If you side with Osiris, here's how the season plays out for you. Maybe whatever that content is, but you can only actually choose one side or the other. Where would you
I'm
side?
gonna go with the Warmind because flying projectiles from space.
Don't let fear guide your choice, man. Come on.
No,
that's
thousands
not
of them
fear.
land on the moon
excitement.
every.
It's like, dude, this dude can sling stuff from space. Who doesn't want to be a part of that?
Yeah, but Osiris could travel the Warmind was created and turn it off.
Do you want to try moving the server to something else, Night Demon?
TikTok Padawan. I can hear you typing, Demon.
That's not him.
Oh, I can hear you typing, Parody.
I know my bandwidth isn't the problem.
Your bandwidth is always the problem.
A few moments later.
Right, so I don't know how I'm going to splice this all together. Let's just, I don't know
We can
where
just
we're
start
going
from
to
the
go.
beginning.
Try a compare.
Yes, we will start here.
You can't say we're going to start here, then no one talks.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where we're
Podcast.
starting.
I was like,
so no, what
Does
I
that
was
mean he
saying
needs
earlier,
to push a button?
Yeah.
Craig
No,
is that button.
Craig's done the button. Okay.
what I was saying earlier is
Welcome.
how
Is that it? Just welcome.
what the
Yes.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to 5 Titans, 6 Hunters, 4 Warlocks, and 3 left socks.
First of all, we don't have Warlocks, all right? So
They're
that's been
invisible.
edited out.
They learned the trick from the Hunters. They can dodge now.
No,
That's
they
Destiny
what
1.
happened is they blinked and forgot to blink back in. They just
Yeah.
they're lost in the void now.
It's Destiny 1, and they've just forgot to self-revive.
Oh my god. Why do you have to say things that remind me of the good old days, man? I really miss that.
It was okay. I mean, it was useful when you're, trying to run raids and people continuously dying. But outside of that, I don't know.
It was useful in PvP too. Like so many times people would think that they've got you and
Yeah.
didn't pay attention to the bottom of the screen that, they didn't get the credit for the kill yet. And you just pop up and shotgun them like, ta-da! Look what I can do. You know,
No, that's fair.
it was great. Yep. Anyway, so what we were discussing earlier is about how Night Demon is Dad of the Year because his son, as you all know, is a big fan, and he and I were playing doubles, and his son walked in the room, and I was like, "Is that your son?" He goes, "Yep." I'm like, "Is that the one that's a fan?" He goes, "Yep." I'm like, "Tell him I said hi," and with just like the distaste, you can hear it in his voice, and the hiss when he goes, "No." It's like, okay, well, that's
Perfect.
that's interesting. Yeah, just a mean dad. His son is obviously a huge fan of the show, clearly, and Demon's just gonna be the mean dad about it, and that hurt my feelings.
I am. I'm gonna be even more meaner, Dad. I'm gonna take hold of this podcast, and we're gonna discuss what's happening next week in Destiny, so that we can get onto
Like
this week at Bungie.
I like where your
So-
head's at.
Next week in Destiny, we have the Drifter bringing extra infamy to Gambit and Gambit Prime. You can continue contributing your polarized fractal to the Imperium Restoration.
Don't do
effort.
that. Don't look. Let's fall short. Let's get
Yeah.
to like 8,999,999. Like just 8,999,999 and stop. I don't want any more. That's it.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of work to bring trials back, and I'm not comfortable with that.
No, you're going to get something else for PvE. Don't worry.
Yeah, another raid I'll never do. That sounds amazing. Let's do that.
And we have Chaos reigning in the Crucible with Mayhem and Countdown returning this week.
Never mind. I'm in.
And our flashpoint is
Who cares?
Well, we had Mercury this week. So, Pan, where do you think it's going to be?
Dreaming City.
We can't have Dream City. We went over this last week with person.
Absolutely can.
All right.
Not with an attitude like that, we can't.
Right, you can have Dream
I said
City.
Dreaming City last week.
Yeah.
Parody, are you taking Dreaming City again with your better half?
No, I'm gonna take Titan this week. I'm gonna go. The flashpoint was in my heart the whole time, and I'm gonna say Titan.
Okay. AZ?
With
Tangled Shore, I want to major in Baron killing.
Oh god, we went over this last time. You're not getting into college with that.
I can get into
Respawn.
university though.
Actually,
Probably.
I'm with the whole Titan thing. I'm gonna keep saying Titan until it is Titan.
Okay.
Yep.
No joke though, Nessus though. No joke, Nessus.
Right, okay.
We'll see, because Bungie can't be bothered to tell us for the whatever week in a row.
I'm going to go with EDZ again then. Yeah. Can't be wrong twice in a week.
You absolutely can.
I could actually. Yeah.
how many kids do you have? I'm gonna go with yes, you can.
See, if you've only been wrong twice this week, it's Saturday. You're doing great there, buddy.
Yeah, right? Like,
Oh dear. Now that we've got that bit out of the way, let's move on to this week at Bungie for the 20th of February 2020.
Bungie.
And Parody, tell us about our Fractal donation so far, because you probably got the up-to-date scores for us, haven't you? What's the scores on the doors?
We have loads of Fractal, so we're going to 9 billion Fractal. We're not there yet.
So they've told us how much we're meant to be getting now, isn't it? 9,077,000,000.
Yeah, like nine followed by all the sevens, I think.
1 9 and 7 7s, I believe.
Yeah, which I don't know why isn't just sevens across the board, because that would be Bungie. But no, they've decided it was nines followed by all the
because
sevens.
we probably already passed the 7.
Yeah, let's tack another 2 billion on there.
Yeah.
So yeah. So according to the 12, we were at 6.7 billion at that point. Care to guess where we are now? At least as of here we are Saturday afternoon about 5:30 p.m.
I would
Eastern.
say 8, maybe even
all of
9.
It's 7.6.
8.5?
We are at a mere 7.5 billion. So
Oh.
7,543,997,600.
Well, that
It-
number's going to skyrocket come Tuesday.
Only 387 billion. I'm sorry, 387 million Fractaline were donated today. Slackers. But it's fun on the Warmind.io community page where they have the Fractaline thing. They show you the chart of each day and how much was donated, and you just see like the waves of Tuesday, and then it goes down, and then Tuesday, and it goes down again. So yeah, come Tuesday, we'll have another billions being thrown in there because people will stop hoarding it by this point, and I don't know what these folks with 709,000 are going to do with it, but hey, they can have it and spend the next week putting Fractaline into the thing until it becomes useless and stays in their inventory all through next season, like the Holiday Oven. And then they won't be able to play the next season because all they'll have is Fractaline that they'll have to delete one at a time.
No, I think what it is going on the Abontes video that he made, and then the one that he made, I think it was last Monday or Tuesday, just around the same time that we put the podcast out. He basically was explaining that when you go to Spider and you want to buy some Glimmer, the best way of investing is to buy it when Spider is selling planetary materials rather than the shards for whatever, exchanging shards for just Glimmer, because it's 10 shards for 10,000 Glimmer, whereas it's 4 shards for 20.
Sir,
What?
I live in the U.S. We don't do math. You need to stop right now. We will
Bontis
Brexit
lives
you
in the
again.
US.
No,
Bontis
he
lives
lives in Texas. That's not the U.S. They tried to secede a couple years ago.
Look, stop. So basically,
Look, you're telling him to stop, but he's not lying to you, man.
so basically, Bond has put out another video explaining when's the best time to buy it. And so far this week, there hasn't been a good time of shards to Glimmer ratio, apart from I think Tuesday or Wednesday when it was shards for it was Glimmer for shards, but you want to get a day where it's shards for planetary materials that then are also being able to then transfer into Glimmer, because you can generate more shards for later on in the game if you need it. I know it's boring, but it was a video that I watched.
That's my biggest problem with it, right? Is like, I mean, look, I like Abontis, right? Like he's a pretty decent human being, but like he should not be allowed to do those videos. Like the man with no inflection in his voice should not be talking about math. It's like it's the Ben Stein scene from Ferris Bueller all over again.
Hey, some people have problems sleeping and need to find the perfect sound for their sleeping problems. And sometimes it's an Australian man talking about lore. Sometimes it's a man with a monotone talking about numbers. Some of these videos, I almost have to
We're
wonder
gonna go over the
sometimes.
actuary tables for Destiny 3. Oh God!
Everyone, get your spreadsheets out. Turn to page 4. We're in your notebooks. We're going to work through this spreadsheet. And I wonder how many views of some of these videos are just people trying to fall asleep to put them on because they're very soothing to sit and listen to all the way through.
No, I mean, I really appreciate Abontis videos for things like that he's working out. I find it really interesting because he was around the same. No, he was around the same point of Fractaline donations or how much he actually had in his inventory. So when he was working it out, it was roughly how many things that when I donate and if I turn in some bounties to get the weapons, that I'll get roughly about the same amount as him. So it was quite cool that, we roughly had the same amount.
Yeah. No, again, it's not that the videos aren't useful. The boy just puts me to sleep.
But saying that, I've turned in so much of that polarized Fractaline for the weapon frames, and I was going for a God roll still rather repeater. I've turned in about 400.
What is your God roll before you get any further? What's your God roll?
Oh,
come on!
He was almost there, man. He was almost there.
British sigh.
No, right? Exasperated British sigh is my favorite exasperated sigh.
Okay, so I'm going for small bore for the barrel, because it gives you +7 to stability and 7 to range. Then I'm going for ricochet rounds in the second column. Then I'm going for feeding frenzy and multi kill clip.
I hate to burst. I have that, but I'm not sure about the barrel though. I don't have ricochet rounds.
Well, then you haven't got that.
What sort of barrel length are we talking here?
I got half of it.
Fallout plays agree with your choices is what I need to hear.
Yes, Fallout always agrees with my choices because I'm Fallout and not Houndish.
You might be both, but
you
can't be one or the other.
So yeah, I was trying to get the God roll, and I've got every single roll apart from that one roll, and I've gone through 400 weapon frames so far. So hopefully I'll be able to get it soon.
You'll get there. Don't worry. Yeah, you'll use it forever. You'll be best friends. you hold each other and look into its eyes.
Really
deeply
won't
at
put
night
it in
and
your
be
vault
very
and
happy.
never think about it again.
No, because with all the changes coming up that they've said that they're going to happen in the TWAB, I'm quite excited about getting hold of one of
Oh,
these.
don't look. You can't. Here's the thing. They're gonna day one. They're gonna do that, right? And they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's gonna be great," and it's gonna break something. Like it's gonna make Telesto look perfect. Like Telesto is like the least buggy thing in the game, right? Like they're just gonna blow it. It's gonna happen. Like they're gonna be like, "Oh, we forgot that we didn't tune Soros regime right, and now it procs health when you get hit, right? Like it's gonna be something stupid like that." And it's going to break the game, and they're going to have to roll it back.
That got jealous.
Yeah. Soros is like, I'm back. You literally can't die when you're using the Soros regime or something. God rolls are entirely too subjective. That's where we're going with that.
Okay. Well, it's the role that I really want.
Yeah,
then.
That's good. All right.
We'll go with that one then. Yeah.
I mean,
it's the role that I haven't had yet that I really want. When I do get it, I'll go, well, why the hell do I want that role? Why don't I just get one with more stability?
No, actually, no. It's a phenomenal role, especially for PvP. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going for.
Yeah, and it's a great because I don't know if you looked inside the chat yet, but haha.
No.
You don't need that for PvP. You really don't.
Yeah, no, I put in the chat my dim showing that I have what you're looking for, and it's great. It's you've got really good choices there. But the other one that you shouldn't sleep on is that combo. But instead of the two in rolls that I have there, you want subsistence and
prep.
No, swashbuckler, right?
Oh,
Because
pretty sure it was field prep.
No, swashbuckler. And the reason I'm saying that is because every time you kill something, it refills a part of your magazine, and swashbuckler gets stronger every time you kill something. So I have shot that gun nearly indefinitely in PvE, and it's bonkers, man. Until you come across the yellow bar, it's crazy. And even then, you've killed so many red bars with it. With the swashbuckler at level 5, it'll do a huge chunk of damage to a yellow bar before swashbuckler finally.
So what you're saying is reloading breaks your immersion too?
Yes.
Right. I'd just like to point out something to you, Respawn, that what you have there isn't the role that I said. It's a role that you've decided to flash up on the screen.
Nope, it's the one that you said.
You don't listen. No.
It's the one that you said.
So you're telling me that small bore is exactly the same as full bore?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because full bore, where it says plus 15 to range, minus 10 to stability, is the same as small bore because it gives you plus 7 to stability and 7 to range.
But you're still wrong because you only need one auto rifle in Crucible.
There is only one auto rifle.
Yeah, if
there's only one auto rifle
Titan, though,
that you can get 40. That you can get 40 kills in a match with. Although you could also run it as a hunter and use that dodge to reload, which I mean, really.
By the time the magazine gets down, your dodge is back up, so you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true, I guess.
Works great for hunters and titans. Warlocks, sorry, you get nothing again, but you have a crazy leader trying to fight a computer, so
Ryan, Luna
what do you
faction.
expect?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, really.
No, Luna faction, you still have to reload though. So
it's just
but it gives you
quicker.
reduced. It gives you feeding frenzy for free.
Yeah. Really, there were a couple times this week, Pan and I were running the A10 Warthog and averaging like 50 to 60 kills between us in Iron Banner matches. Because when you have two identically dressed Titans, they're like, I killed him. We're fine. Let me go around this corner. There he is again. Why is he still here? And it's just ridiculous.
It's magical.
There are a couple times we ran out of ammo. 999 rounds and ran out of ammo.
And then you have to kill another Guardian with your special.
No, with your second auto rifle. You then switch to your backup auto rifle.
Yeah.
Because A, that way they don't get any green ammo when they kill you, and B, then you just have more bullets and you're fine. So the hunter jumps in with his shotgun. He's like, I'm gonna pick up the Oh, no, I'm not. I'm gonna be sad that you dropped me nothing useful.
What were you using as your secondary auto rifle?
Valkyrie.
I was running with a ringing nail this week.
Ringing nails, very nice for secondary. Did you have the
yes
rounds on the end of it? Nice.
So I'm glad that everybody has the Izanagi's burden, and now they're going to make some changes to it that I'm sure someone will care about. But I read this, and I'm going, I don't know. I've used this gun maybe like a dozen times, and I don't know.
But you don't do raids.
This
You don't do
entire
raids or high
patch
level activities.
it's for PC. Is all it is. It's I mean,
Well,
Apart from the snipers, I think.
I think really I don't know, man. Like I don't snipe, right? Like so I'm not a fair judge of that.
Before we jump into all the debate on it, let's just give a overview of what's actually happening.
Yeah.
So in the 12 this week, they go back over the fact that they're going to touch the swords and make them better with the next sandbox update. And then they go into telling us about Season of the Redacted. We're still hanging on to the Redacted part. I don't know why.
I think that is the name of it, right? They're just going to call it Redacted. Like that's the joke.
But there's a couple of lines that they've squeezed in here that you could kind of gloss over, but a lot of YouTubers have picked up on it. That there's going to be a new Nightfall difficulty, officially dubbed Grandmaster, which will test even the most prolific Guardians. So basically, the guys that struggle at 980 are not going to even bother. They're just, you speedrunners, you whatever, you go into that. I mean, are you guys going to bother? You're going to try it. We're going to spend 6 hours in
Absolutely not. No.
Blue screen. No, blue screen will say, "Hey, come on, we're going to do this," and I'll say, "I will go with you. I make no guarantees," and then we will struggle and we will fail, but we will laugh our heads off doing it.
No. If we do it, we're not failing. We're going to do it the one time, get the badge to show that we've done it that one time, and keep it in our collections and go, haha, we've done it. We don't need to do it anymore.
I will never think about this ever again. Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Unless there's a triumph to say that you need to do at least 5 or 10, and then we'll have to go and do 5 or 10.
Yeah.
Then every time I see Night Demon on, he'll say, "Hey, we're going to go do this thing. It'll be great." No, it's going to be amazing. We're going to knock this out. It'll be fine.
Look, if there's no time limit on it, I'm going to be standing at the back of the map, scout rifling everything. We are going to take things down slowly until we get to
day
the boss,
one. He's going to be like, "Okay, so I saw this cheese. So what you're going to need to do is put your controller down, take your left foot, put it behind your right ear, and kill that cabal with this sidearm."
I thought you were just going to say the cheese is you put the controller down, you shut off the Xbox, and you go do something outside.
You win! Profit!
No, but seriously, are you guys excited that there's a new Nightfall difficulty? Is it something that you might want to try and do? Just to see what it's like?
What the rewards are.
It's also the wrong word.
Yeah. If it's worth it, yes. Like I enjoy running the 980s now for the rewards. At least it gives me some higher level materials. That's more or less a guarantee if I pass it. Yeah. That's the thing. That's part of why I haven't. I mean, part of it's just time and energy and getting 5 other people together. But I could raid. I might get something out of it. I might not get nothing out of it. I enjoy like the high level Nightfalls. I can get this done and actually get something from it. Yes, there are still some random weapon drops and things like that. But at least I'm getting high level materials. So at least every time I go through it, there's something I'm getting out of it. If there's nothing there, then yeah, short of doing it once or twice to help people through, or if someone goes, "Hey, we're doing this, let's try it," I won't run it over and over again.
So would you be kind of disappointed if it's just kind of they've put a new level in and then all the rewards are kind of stepped up or stepped down, so that the things that you can get in the 980 now go in the Grandmaster and everything else filters down? How would you feel about that?
I would ignore it. That'd just be dumb. Why? You just made me do more work for the same rewards.
Oh, okay. That is what you said.
It's got to be like either if I do this X number of times a week, I've got enough to masterwork or get close to masterworking, because that's going to be something new too, right? Like you can change the affinity, but it's going to take as much materials as to masterwork it, right? If I understood the thing right.
However much you've put into it already.
Yeah. Like it's got to be like that level of materials, or I don't know, maybe not even necessarily like a guaranteed exotic, but like I don't know, maybe
you kind of get that from the 980s now, don't you?
Yeah,
you've got an even higher chance of getting an exotic.
What
the gold
if
balls and the shards and things?
What if they gave you legendary weapons with multiple rolls, like they do with the sundial and stuff now?
Okay.
That'd be a little. I mean, it makes sense. A better reward.
Right, you have the chance of a better reward because you've increased the number of variables, right?
Well, what about better gear? So higher stat rolls on your armor.
Yeah, that because the community's been screaming for that for about what, month and a half now.
Yeah.
That'd be worthwhile. I mean, the second armor set I have on my Titan past the Iron Banner one is the one I pulled out of this season like a week ago because it's got 65, 66 level rolls on everything.
Yep.
The rest of the armor, I largely look at the number in CO. It's in the mid 50s or lower. Just trash it.
Yeah.
Higher stat roll stuff. We'll definitely do it.
Okay.
Yeah. There seems to be some carrot on the end of that stick, not just here's a thing to grind for, just so you can grind it. Well, no.
Get your buddies, bang your head against this wall.
I don't want to bang my head against a wall.
We don't care. Start banging.
We might want to bang your head against the wall.
That's a fair point, which makes it even less desirable now. Hey, Respawn, do you want it? Nope.
So with that, the dev team then shift their focus, apart from that little sentence, back onto they've announced that they're going to touch the swords and redo those. Then they go straight in with the hard stuff. Izanami's Burden. So the sniper rifle that you couldn't achieve for quite some time, that was bugged, that you couldn't get, that then they allowed you to get, is now going to be nerfed.
And the people that just got the damn thing because the thing finally got fixed, and now it's getting nerfed.
Somebody's still desperately trying to get it, and they're going to get it like day one of the nerf.
Right?
Well, they're just replaced.
Are you super happy about it? Since I know you haven't had it that long.
I've had it for about a month, maybe 2 months now. But I feel it, from what I got from it was they're just changing outlaw to box breathing, and then they're also including that the honed edge is I don't know what the reload speed would be for it, but they're just changing it.
No, they're not. They're also giving it a 20% nerf to damage because they said they're bringing the damage back to what it was pre. I forgot what DLC it was. Yeah, pre Shadowkeep, and it was approximately 20% weaker pre Shadowkeep than it is now. So they are heavily nerfing the honed edge damage, and
they're also every other sniper.
Well, and grenade launchers too. So
but let's stick on Izanami Burden at the moment.
Yeah, fair enough.
What they're actually going to do is they're changing the animation speed of the honed edge, so it is no longer affected by the reload stat. So at the moment, you can put like reloads on your gloves. You can have all these other fantastic things to really speed up the reload. But if you don't have any of that on, and you go to do the honed edge, where you reload and put the 4 bullets into the one, it's really, really slow, and it's just going to be fixed at doing that for the honed edge. But I think just the normal reload is still going to be affected by gauntlets and things like that. The outlaw, like you said, is being replaced with no distractions. So like box breathing kind of thing. No, it's not box breathing.
No, it's not. No distractions. You don't get
it's the flinch one. It's the flinch one.
Yeah. Aiming your weapon for a short period of time reduces flinch, and you're losing outlaw, which is precision kills, greatly increase reload time. So you're giving away your reload time for less flinch when you're aiming down sights.
I mean, it's not a bad trade-off, especially like if you're doing a boss encounter. It's not bad, but I would still prefer the outlaw if I'm being honest.
No, I mean that's what people were saying, is that they don't really mind that, because with the honed edge part of it, you're just reloading to get the damage on the boss, so you're not actually using the outlaw as much. I mean, you may do in PvP, but then there are other snipers that you could take into PvP, like the new ones with the Vorpal weapon on. If you want to take out, the Vorpal perk that you can take out people in their supers, things like that. So
I haven't played with that at all. Is that like a reasonable thing? Like, is it noticeable?
If you're playing against somebody who's in their super,
Definitely yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely yes.
Yeah, I was wondering about
Because
that.
I have, even with the steel feather with Vorpal weapon, I've deleted a freaking Void Blade Hunter while he was coming after me.
Oh, nice.
Before he got to me.
That's cool.
So no, it's definitely noticeable.
That's my problem with like I don't know, most of the perks and stuff, right? Like I don't notice if they're working or not. I'm like, yeah, okay, sounds great. We're gonna do this now.
Yeah, but it's also, you got to keep in mind, it's great in that very niche situation, you know? Yeah. And aside from the one-off supers, like the Titan Fist of Panic Superman, or the Hunter's Flaming Blades, the one-offs where it doesn't matter because they're out of their super so fast anyway, then it's pointless. So it's basically only good for roaming supers. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. So the rest of the snipers are going to be touched as well. So they're going to, they say they increased the damage in PvE back in Shadowkeep. So now they're removing that change for a few reasons. And they say that sniper rifles have had a lot of utility and safety due to their range and increased damage, and it was giving them too much of a leg up on, their closer range counterparts. So this gulf was only widened as the difficulty of the encounters goes up. So the direct changes to adapt and rapid fire snipers were to make the differences in the sub-archetypes more impactful again, as well as giving some amount of parity with the adjustments to shotguns and fusion rifles that are coming up. So damage to major enemies and above have been reduced to pre-Shadowkeep values, which is minus 20%. The adaptive sniper's precision multiplier has been reduced from 3.25 to 2.95. And the rapid fire sniper based impacts have been reduced from 100% damage to 90 damage. So what all that means is it's just going to hit a hell of a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
And damage decrease.
Yep. Coming from Bungie, who's never going to nerf weapons anymore.
Right. I was talking about this with a coworker. I was like, yeah, no, they're nerfing now. Then everybody's going to scream about it. And then they're like, we're not going to nerf anymore. Congratulations, guys. You convinced us. Like, it's a cycle.
But what they've done with that is that they're actually giving you more ammunition in reserves as well. So they are kind of compensating you for the damage that you're losing, but giving you a few more bullets in your reserves.
Are they though?
So, yeah.
I was waiting for that.
My first thought
it's not going to be, it's not the same impact. So if you waste all those bullets, it's not going to be the same amount of damage overall compared. But sorry, Parody.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It just, looking over some of these changes, my first thought when I saw, we're making sniper rifles hit less hard, my first thought was Trials. Because Trials, Pan and I have been talking about this. Everyone going, Trials is coming back. Trials is coming back. I'm going, you guys don't remember how Trials was. And my strongest memories of Trials in D1 was getting sniped, having to try to perfect that whole slide and push your buddy out of the way, because the moment you respawn somebody, they'll get sniped in the face if you don't. So my first thought was, this will hurt some raids and blah blah blah, and glad we'll have to find a different way to one-shot bosses. But making if they are bringing back Trials this season, making it a little more bearable. At least you can kill me in one of 57 different ways, as opposed to sitting across the map and just hard scoping the spawn point.
That's going to be a change, though?
The dead ghost.
I still think a sniper's going to one-shot people inside Trials, even with this nerf.
Because I'll tell you why.
To people, when you headshot them, it's well over the maximum health amount, even with a nerf.
Guy who remembers nothing.
What?
I know why.
If you're hitting headshots, yeah. If you're hitting body shots, no.
Well, guy who remembers nothing. Can I just say? I need to tell you this.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, no. Okay. I know exactly what he's gonna say.
Go on then. You say it. Go on.
Those changes are only in PvE. Right?
No, I wasn't going to say that anyway. So what I was going to say is...
Okay.
Dummy! Jeez!
Right. So the three titans on this side of the table, if we go to somebody, we're not going to saunter up and go, hang on a minute, I'm just going to stand here. We're going to put a giant shield up and then res them. Now, you didn't have that in Destiny 1, did you?
That is a very good point.
Mm-hmm. And if we're being honest with each other, even pre-nerf snipers, right? Why would you ever rest somebody without putting up a shield?
You wouldn't. You wouldn't now, but
if you have that,
you didn't thinking is not my strong suit.
You didn't have that in Destiny 1. There was that like risk reward of trying to res your partner and get them out of the way before they got their head sniped, because there wasn't anything to kind of protect you. You know, you could get somebody else to slide into them, or you could slide res them, things like that. There wasn't anything like a giant shield that a Titan could put up, or even a rift that a Warlock could put down just to touch the guy, just enough to give them that extra bit of shield so they can run out of the way or back into the rift. So there are these new things, but I agree with Parody. That was my first thought. Even though they're touching the PvE side of it with the snipers, these things are still going to be slightly adjusted in PvP going forward. I mean, we've got that further on with hand cannon, or a specific hand cannon that's being touched. And it does look like it's going to be something that for competitive PvP game mode that may or may not be back. These are the kind of adjustments that the community are basically saying they needed or they wanted. And again, like you said before, Pan, it's to be more of a PC kind of thing, like with what they were saying with Lord of Wolves. That's more prevalent on a PC with the way that it reacts to, you know, we very rarely see it as much in PvP on a console, but on PC it's like night and day kind of thing. So
yeah, and I saw something online where, you know, the people are upset about it, and they're like, you know, you need to tune PC and console separately, and you know, and it's the same argument of you know, they need to tune PvP and PvE separately. So now you're talking about, you know, 4 different sandboxes, and I mean that's a lot of time and materials and personnel hours.
Yeah, because you're going to end up creating more teams just to deal with those.
Yeah, and then those teams are going to have to communicate, and we know that that's not their strong suit. So
and do the QA testing,
the QA testing
in different code bases, which you're just exponentially blowing things up as it goes.
And that's a nice thing to wish for, but it's, you know, not realistic.
So the other thing that they're touching is grenade launchers, and through a combination of archetype adjustment.
Mountaintop users, that'll teach you to do hard working grind.
No, they're the heavies only, aren't they? Isn't it only the heavy grenade launcher?
No, mountaintop. Mountaintop is a grenade launcher, my friend.
Yeah, but no, I thought they were only doing it to a specific kind.
No. Yeah, they're adjusting all these different things. So through a combination of archetype adjustments and new perks being introduced, grenade launchers have been quite powerful ever since Season of the Drifter. So that's quite a long time before Shadowkeep. So they've changed the aggressive frame archetype to a rapid frame sub-archetype to be more in line with other weapons established conventionally, and slightly reduce their effectiveness on powerful enemies to give other weapons some more breathing room. So when I read this, I was like, oh my god, my mind is blown. I have no idea what's going on. What are we doing now? We're now changing archetypes and the
reason they're doing that specifically is because these heavy grenade launchers that we're using, like Love and Death and whatnot, that are just deleting bosses. Once again, we find something that's fun, and Bungie's like, nope, we don't want you having fun in my game. We're going to take it away. So that's why they're doing this, is because right now the grenade launchers are the meta, and now we're probably going to have to go back to what? Rocket launchers with cluster or some nonsense?
Well, so Nathan, you're saying the changes are coming to aggressive frames?
Well, aggressive grenade launchers are now rapid fire grenade launchers. Rapid fire frame grenade launchers have had their damage reduced to account for their rate of fire, so 0.8 times, but now have also increased reserves. And then previously, aggressive frame grenade launchers fired faster than adaptives, but had the same damage. So they've changed that as well. And the damage to major enemies and above power weapon grenade launchers is reduced by 10%. So go on, sorry, AZ.
Mountaintop is a lightweight grenade launcher.
Yep, it is not getting touched. Boy.
That's what you think.
Give it time.
Wait till the season comes out and they put out the full patch notes and they say we're handling Mountaintop and things differently, or we're going to wait and see how it plays out and then change it differently. You know they
But
are.
honestly, I rarely ever use it anyway because I mean, there's so many. Don't get me wrong, okay? The mountaintop is definitely not a bad primary, not even close to a bad primary. But with the weapons the way that they are now, I've been shifting things around, and I've been using like Steel Feather Repeater or freaking Patron of Lost Causes in that slot, and the second slot's got like a fusion or a bow, right?
Yeah,
and then I have a sword for a heavy. So I'm not. It doesn't have the same value as it once did since these other weapons came out. It didn't get nerfed. There's nothing wrong with it. It's still a phenomenally good rocket launcher. But I have other
rocket launcher.
Grenade.
Let him go with it.
Well, no, it's a rocket. It is a rocket. Okay, let's not.
No, come on.
It's a rocket stuffed in a grenade launcher, so it's called a grenade launcher.
It is just a really, really small rocket. That's all it is.
You can still blow yourself up with a Titan bubble with it. That's the important part to remember about it.
That's right. You don't need and I'm the hunter. I don't have a bubble, and I can attest. You don't need a bubble to kill yourself with it.
Walls work well too. Your friends.
What I'll do is in the show notes, I'm going to link 2 videos that I've watched, and they explain how much the damage numbers are going to change for snipers and the grenade launchers by Errol. And he's done he showed you kind of damage numbers on the grenade launchers, what they are at the moment, and then showed you how the differences are and what the highest DPS is going to be. And then with the sniper rifles, how much the snipers are going to change with each different archetype as well, and how much damage reduction you're basically going to have. So what I'm getting from all of this is it's just going to make the guys like us that go and do raids and the harder content every now and then when we can, it's just going to be a little bit harder for us. Even though our light's going up, things are going to be adjusted as we go up. It's just going to take a couple more sniper shots. It's going to take a couple more grenade launcher shots. It's going to take a hell of a lot more coordination. So
this is them fighting power creep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, fighting power creep, and also I think it's nice just to shake up the sandbox every now and again.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
People keep saying the sandbox is the same. It needs to change. Why aren't you doing this? But then the moment they make change, everyone goes, "Well, we don't like those changes." Well, you can either have it one way or the other. I appreciate them sort of saying, "Okay, these guns have been powerful for a long time, or at least for the season, or whatever. Let's roll the dice. Let's make some more guns powerful, or let's make some changes that build a new meta." Because honestly, Destiny shouldn't be the same game it was a year ago in terms of the best guns still being the very best guns. Yes, there are a couple out there that are never going to be bad, like the Sweet Business. It's always going to be amazing. But it's nice to have, scout rifles get their day, auto rifles get their day, pulse rifles get their day, and you can find the very best, whichever one of those works best with your playstyle. I like that they're changing things up, and it's, talking to Pano this week about trials coming back or not or whatever, and people's short-term memories, and everyone's screaming, we want sandbox changes, PvP is broken, fix this, do this, and then it's screaming the other way the moment Bungie makes a change of, oh, we don't like those changes, put it back the way it was. You're never going to make people happy, so just build the game you want to build and let people scream about it, because really they'll make these changes, a week will go by, and then everybody will settle into a new meta, and then whatever becomes
come out with a video telling them what they should be using.
Precisely.
They'll start using it, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is awesome!" And then, 3 months from now, they'll have another season, and they'll be like, "Season of the Sidearms," and people are like, no, I can't use my, I don't know, pick a weapon, Martyr's Retribution, whatever, right? The grenade launcher. For whatever reason, you'll get a god roll on that, but now you have to use a sidearm and change your play style, and people will lose their minds.
Yep, you'll have to dual wield sidearms with a bow and a linear fusion rifle, and you can only run with one grenade in one hand and the bow in the other hand, so it's very hard to fire. It'll be fine.
Yeah, kind of just like how Shadowkeep changed the meta to scout rifles, because scout rifles got a huge buff when Shadowkeep came out.
Yeah, but they didn't
but scout rifles were sort of garbage up until that point.
Yeah, they'd kind of. We had a really good meta with scout rifles that were quite dominant for quite some time in Destiny 2 to start off with.
The
launch?
Yeah, I heard about that.
God, what was it?
Woo!
Mida Multi-Tool, and there was the Vanguard one. No, the Vanguard Legendary.
The nameless Midnight.
Nameless Midnight. Yeah. What was the role on that everybody loved? It was like triple tap and outlaw or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say outlaw kill clip because that's the role that everybody wants on everything.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, it was
Yeah, it was just
what you
ridiculous.
used. It was it.
And then,
That was,
Bungie nerfed the scout rifles into the ground AZ, and there was a long period of time where you couldn't really use it. Nobody used a scout rifle in PvP. They very rarely use them in PvE, and they've only slowly, since Shadowkeep, coming back up into a more viable play style now. So,
yeah,
I mean, I think they made leaps and bounds when they did the Randy throwing knife, because that then brought
and momentum control.
Brought them back into
to use them
play style. So they're worth using now. And I mean, I was still fighting against people using Mida in the Crucible today. So
Mida's got a little resurgence. I've seen that in Iron Banner and doubles things where I hadn't seen a Mida since D1 practically.
So more changes on the way. These are not the only changes, by the way. They are going to have a full patch notes when they get closer to changing the sandbox. So these are only just what they want to tell us at the moment. So they, as we always discuss, that they want to throw out some of the harshest ones for the community to go, oh, I'm upset with that, I disagree. Or they go, yes, that should have been nerfed from day one.
No. The way you say that, I'm so angry. I disagree. I just can't take that.
They don't even have pitchforks in their hand.
Right?
These are the British forums he's reading. These are the .uk forums. I had to set my teacup down. I was caught quite off guard by these recent changes.
Dear sir, I had to stop eating my scones to protest about this.
My
dear sir, stroke madam,
have been soured by this news.
See, different forums. It's fine. Just right? Never read the forums. It's just for the best.
So, Lord of Wolves is going to get a change. So, the Release the Wolves perk, which is the one where you hold the button down and then it decides it's going to splatter across your screen at everybody that comes close
all
to
your ammo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A useless perk. Jesus. It's like, Lord of Wolves has an ammo problem. Let's try using all the ammo immediately. No ammo, no problem.
Now it's a melee weapon. You're fine.
It's not even a melee weapon anymore, but yeah, go ahead.
The Release the Wolves should be used in extremely close range against larger targets instead of just being used as a better version of the default behavior.
Teabagging the dead opponent, hit the button, and then use it.
Yeah.
Because they're already dead. It doesn't matter if you hit them or not.
No, sorry. Just every time I read this, all I can think of is like the perk activates, you go to fire it, and it just waves wildly around the screen. Like basically like the hard light did before they made it actually stable.
Yeah,
you just shoot it. It just shoots wildly in different directions.
That's what they did,
but not anymore. Sorry,
they transferred the recoil over.
Yeah, it now gets all the recoil from all the guns in the game. It goes right to the Lord of Wolves.
Oh my god,
that's how they fix console recoil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, quote unquote.
But like we were saying, that this isn't kind of as prevalent on a console. I mean, you do see people wielding it in Crucible, but it's not as much as like the PC players have been saying. It's been affecting them, giving them PTSD playing against people that have it. But I think Fallout was saying that the cone of the bullet spread is just going to be hopefully it's going to be completely wide. So like you were saying, it just sprays across everywhere. So you can't hit anything that's not like closer than 0.5 meters in front of you.
Right.
You don't hit anything
in their chest. Yeah, you literally have to bury it.
You don't hit anything, or you hit everything. One or the other.
Yeah, you give 1 damage point to everybody in the room. That's it.
Everybody in the whole lobby. Wait, I spawned and I took 1 damage?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I'm on his team and I took 1 damage.
Your team, the other team, Shaq
takes
some damage.
You just get angry messages from your colleagues going, put the gun away, put it down, just put
People
it back
in
in
your
the
clan,
now.
your other characters.
For God's sake, stop using sweet business.
HP,
It's
but
horrific.
1 HP freaking matters, man.
I felt so bad for Fallout after he put that video out with the in-depth, like, here's the cone, here's how the aim assist shotguns, and they're like, well, good thing y'all put in all this work. We've changed those.
Yeah, I did feel sorry for him for that. I will link his shotgun or his latest shotgun video where he's got a picture of the Lord of Walls in the trash. Because again, he goes over a lot of the patch notes with a lot of numbers and things. So I'll link that one. That one's a good one to go and watch. We also have The Last Word. So when this was reintroduced in Season of the Forge, The Last Word became quite dominant due to its extreme forgiving to maximum time to kill, or its TTK. So they're adjusting the way the weapon works to focus it back as a hipfire based weapon, whilst also improving that side of the experience of both controller and mouse and keyboard inputs. So they've also made it a little less forgiving, so that you still have to concentrate on your aim whilst wielding the weapon. What I'm getting from this is that when they reintroduced it as a kind of hybrid of what it was like in Destiny 1. So if anybody that wasn't around in Destiny 1, when we first got the Last Word weapon, it was like you could literally be across the other side of the map, ADS, and actually hit somebody and kill them. 2 shots. It was ridiculous. It then got patched, it got nerfed, it got brought back, and they played around with it so much. But then when they brought it back into Destiny 2, they kind of did this hybrid version of it so that you could still ADS and get quite a lot of damage. And you could also hit fire and fan fire it and still get really good numbers with it. But what this like nerf or adjustment seems to be, I think this is going to get back to where it was left in Destiny 1, where it was like a cowboy kind of gun. Like you could just like pull it out and fan fire it and, shoot it at your side of your hip kind of thing. And that was going to be the best way to use it. Do you remember this from Destiny 1, guys? Did you use it?
I do, but the thing about it is, it wasn't nerf like what they're doing now, where the spread is just ungodly. You had a good distance, but you could only activate the distance once you already got a kill with the weapon. And then you would get Lord of Wolves activated or whatever. You know what I mean?
Different gun. Last Word. Moving on.
Oh, what?
I'm going to need you to scroll down to The Last Word, where we moved on to. I understand that there's like a W there and an L, and it's very confusing.
No, I read the email.
Was he not paying attention, or was I not paying attention?
No, I was reading the
It was
email
both
at
not
work,
paying
and
attention.
then I joined my
Panoramix, you actually had something you wanted to say about The Last Word.
I always thought it was supposed to be like the cowboy gun, right? Like the draw from the hip, fire from the hip thing. And so apparently I've just been using it wrong for the last, how long has Destiny been out?
Forever.
No.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's the whole idea, is that when they brought it out, they marketed it as this hip fire based weapon, like a cowboy. You draw it out your side, you flick your, the hammer on it, and you just shoot from the hip. Yeah, you fan fire it. It's like a cowboy weapon, but then for some reason they decided to make it into an ADS kind of weapon that you could still fan fire.
They didn't make it into an ADS weapon. That just is because of PC. That wasn't intentional.
Well, no, I mean the numbers are across the board for PC and console.
You're not wrong, but that was not intentional. That was accidental.
Well, the numbers don't lie. That's intentional, because if they wanted it as a hipfire weapon, they would have had the numbers of what they've now adjusting it back to. Because I watched the MTash video, which I will link in the show notes as well, because he goes over it in a lot of detail, and he picked up on the fact that it sounds like it's going back to the Destiny 1 hipfire kind of weapon.
Spawn, are you ever upset that you can't prove your points with links in the show notes?
No.
I'm just curious. Okay.
No.
All right. Fair enough.
But so I've lost track now. I was on the train, and you made me lose my track.
I broke it. Yes.
You broke me.
Huzzah.
So MTash was saying about the fan firing and the hip firing thing, and I still can't remember where I was going, even though I went back on it. Damn it!
Watch the MTash video. MTash will tell you what you're doing wrong. The only thing I remember about The Last Word is in D1, people being like, everyone putting out videos on it. They were like, "Don't aim down the sights. Don't try.
Yeah.
Don't even pretend it doesn't even have a sight to aim down.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. Just sort of spray. Point and click. It's a very simple interface. You point, you click, things die."
That was it. That's what MTash was saying. He said that basically the perk, the main perk that you've got on the weapon, which I can't remember at the moment, is really negated for the fact that nobody uses that weapon for that perk. It just doesn't seem to.
I mean, but only
you
because
you don't even know what the weapon is.
Look, I was confused what we were talking about.
The Lord of Wolves, you fan fire it.
Yeah,
everything's fine.
Yeah, no, because for me, especially whenever I play on console, like when you try to ADS, you're just hurting yourself. So it's easier to do 4-shot, body shot, literal gods inside the game with that gun without ADS.
Sorry, did you say you should not ADS on console?
No.
Is that?
You're not ADS on console.
Okay, good, perfect.
Okay, so yeah, the intrinsic perk for it is fan fire. So this weapon can fire quickly and continuously, faster reload, increased and accuracy on successive hip fire damage. But nobody uses it like that. So that's actually a wasted perk. So with bringing it back into line of being a hip fire weapon, if you do hit the dome, basically, if you hit the person's head, you're going to do more damage than what you currently do at the moment. But if you're doing body damage, it's considerably less. And the same for non-precision. They've taken that right down from what it is at the moment. So and they said they're going to kind of adjust the cone, I guess, of how much damage and how much stickiness it's going to be on people's heads. So the reticle's going to stick hopefully a bit more. We'll just have to see what it's going to be like. But again, like the Lord of Wolves, this sounds like it's going to be one of those PvP changes that's more in line with, we want to adjust this before we go and do trials, because this may kill trials if there's too many of these weapons hanging around that people
it's going to be a PC PvP change.
I was about to say, like,
and the same with shotguns, which are
I don't foresee. I can't see anybody using the last word in PvP. Or PvE, I'm sorry, because it's an exotic hand cannon that it doesn't damage wise. I don't think outperforms any other hand cannon.
Agreed.
Right?
Like, yeah, it's not great for PvE.
So it's got to be it's totally got to be focused on PvP at this point.
Yeah.
And PCs. I mean, they're reducing the stability for mouse and keyboard input. So they're making it, worse on PC, reducing the effective range. Aiming down the sights no longer, gives you the additional effective range. And they're basically taking your hip fire, your non-precision hip / ADS is going down from basically 50 to 38, and your precision hip fire is going from like 67 point to 67 point. Like it's next to nothing. So they're making a change to the gun to try to make you use it how they intend you to use it. We'll see if we'll see if the folks on PC care, have any opinions on it. The console. It doesn't seem like it's going to make a whole lot of difference, other than they're just nerfing the damage to it
when you ADS it.
Right.
But yeah, don't ADS it now.
Yeah. Don't hit the left trigger. Don't look down the sight. It doesn't have a sight. Just pull it out, hold it at belt buckle level, and point it where you want things to die. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, and with its perks, every shot that you land, the next shot is even stronger. So that's what I was saying earlier. You can 4-shot body shot most Guardians outside of supers, and it takes 1, maybe 2 extra shots to kill them in a super. It's so powerful to use when you ADS it. I don't know why. I'm sorry. When you don't ADS it. So the fact that they're taking the time to ADS to reduce their damage just so they can get headshots. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers on it, but to me, that sounds like it's not a good thing.
I'm guessing you don't know the exact numbers on it, because the precision and hip fire and the ADS are exactly the same numbers at the moment.
Oh, well, there you go.
And ADS, as we've said it about 1,000 times, anyone care to explain what that actually means? If someone's going, what are they talking about?
Auto-destruct sequence.
Yes.
Robot.
Dementia syndrome.
No, sorry.
It's where old people.
No, it's auto-destruct sequence.
No, when I was saying like
aim down sight. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no. When I was saying,
one's got to be the one to bring us back. All right, fair.
Sorry.
It's got to happen.
Good job, buddy.
No,
that's why he's the British dad.
The percentage of which the rounds increase their damage when you land a shot, does that outweigh the precision damage? Because yes, I know what you're saying about the precision damage, but when you hip fire to get extra damage for each successive round, does that do ultimately more damage than headshotting people?
If you're hip firing, yes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Well, sort of. There's numbers, there's technical things.
Watch your favorite YouTuber. They'll do a deep dive into this. Really, if you're on console, you can continue ignoring this gun and use the guns you're actually using. Same for Lord of Wolves.
So, Parody, do you want to take us through shotguns and fusion rifles and the best part at the bottom?
I just want to have just a moment of silence for Fallout, because I think he was broken again by all of his shotgun work. And then Bungie said, "Yeah, now that you've explained how the aim assist works and the cone and all that work, yeah, we're going to change it all."
Barrel length.
So shotguns are all about barrel length. So really, if the more shotguns you can put on the end of each other to make your shotgun longer, it's just going to make it better. That's all you need to know about shotguns.
Lego shotguns, love it.
So they're making some changes to the shotguns. Their target acquisition for non-slug shotguns has been adjusted to no longer account for precision locations. So you hit somebody, you don't hit somebody, they don't care where you hit them. Previously, target acquisition could actually cause a player's spread to deviate from the intended aim vector, causing most of the spread to miss. So if it's trying to aim assist like toward the head, and you hit part of the head, but then the rest of your pellets go off, you're actually doing less damage for a precision shot. So now it doesn't care. Your cone angle is now adjusted on a per sub-archetype basis and is no longer adjusted by the range stat. Aiming down sights no longer adjusts the effective range for this weapon archetype. I'll just refer you to Fallout Plays, who I'm sure will make a new video on this. If you're sitting here going per archetype range stat, who cone angle? Watch his video. He just put out on shotguns.
Sort of bothers me. I don't. That sounds bad. Like the angle of the way.
The cone of damage. Shotgun. Fallout did a really in-depth video on this, and I understood most of it. And he is way nerdier about this than anyone really should be.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't even going to try to explain it briefly.
I'm gonna have to look at that because.
Yeah, watch his video. We'll link in the show notes. It is a really good. It is a really good explanation. And when I watch it, I was like, okay, I understand this now. But I couldn't even begin to try to explain it to the good people in the world. So I'll just direct you to Fallout Plays' video. It's better that way.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. Is that the one that you were talking about that he did this week with range? He shows you with the cones.
Yes, the range, the cones that he sobbed about making when the changes came out right after he put that out. Yeah, because I think he and I think Cool Guy and some third person and Drewski. Yeah, he was saying they all sort of put out videos.
Mercules did the massive breakdown for it, didn't he?
Mercules massive breakdown and quick shout out to their podcast, and also just the massive breakdown numbers they run are incredible. I think a lot of things come from their numbers that they don't get the credit they deserve. Which brings us now, we move past shotguns to fusion rifles.
Yay.
Also known as the Arantil and the Telesto. So Telesto is broken. It'll be actually the only fusion rifle you can use in the next season. All the other fusion rifles are actually now subservient to the Telesto and do its bidding. So even if you equip something else, it becomes a Telesto now. So look for that change. You're really going to enjoy it.
Did you tell them what the change is? Are we just leaving it at that?
Yeah, Telesto. That's it. Everything becomes a Telesto. No. So your target acquisition for fusion rifles has been adjusted to no longer account for precision locations. So same as the shotguns. Previously, target acquisition could actually cause the player's volley to deviate from the intended aim vector, causing most of the volley to miss. So again, exact same change to the shotguns. Your damage fall off for this weapon can now floor at 0.5 times. Previously, it was 0.75 times. So you're going to have more of a damage fall off. Your effective range and impact of the optics stat for this weapon archetype has been reduced across the board. And backup plan's getting a change where it now adjusts the impact to match the rapid frame subtype archetype while active, and the charge time is now set to match the rapid fire subtype archetype 0.85 while active. So basically they're making it slower, and they're making backup plan match a different archetype, and I can't tell you what those archetypes are. So again, wait for people to do videos on what real world this means. But the big thing is, don't worry about aiming for the head with shotguns or fusion rifles, because it won't matter anymore. You hit somebody, you hit somebody. You miss them, you miss them.
Well, I think with the target acquisition for sniper rifles, for fusion rifles, is mainly based on the fact that when you do aim into voop somebody, it kind of goes up to the head, but you don't actually want it going near the head. You want it, if you're aiming at somebody, you want it mid body mass so that it kind of voops up and gets all of them with the whole spread. So I think this is going to help not, just go for the precision part of it.
So this technical word that you're using, this voop, you called it? Can you break
Yes,
that down for me?
yes, the vooping.
I've never heard of the vooping. I need to know what.
Oh, sir, you
vooping?
need to watch that video that was like, movie of the week way back early in Destiny about vooping people and booping people. But I'll redirect you to that.
What sound do you think fusion rifles make?
A whoosh.
Is there a colorblind fusion rifle sound setting? I need to know. Does it change the sound of the fusion rifle in addition to the colors?
Mine barks like a dog. I don't know what y'all's have been doing.
Again, so really, with the fusion rifles, think Telesto. Don't think I'm going to hit you in the head. Think I'm going to load my buddy up. So aim for center mass, load my buddy up with shots, send him into battle. So use the fusion rifles the same way in shotguns. Aim for center mass, load your friend up, send them into battle. And if it's the enemy, then they're dead. And if it's the air intel, they have actually already been killed because you already fired it 6 times at the time I was speaking to explaining this.
So, Pan, would you like to tell us all about the glorious changes to auto rifles?
I can.
It doesn't start with sweet business, though, unfortunately.
No, I have a question about that, and we'll get to that at the end of the thing. But basically, they're increasing damage. They're buffing auto rifles anywhere from 1 to 3 points, right? Per and my computer's across the room. I have a wireless headset now. This is awesome.
Yeah,
so it's dedication.
Yeah, no, the numbers. So they're. I'll just give them real quick. So the precision frame, it's going from 17. I really wish they would write these better. 17/27.2 for your default and precision previously. So yeah, it's basically your default on your precision frame. Your default damage doesn't change. Your precision damage goes up 1.7 points of damage. The adaptive frames, your default goes up 2 points of damage, and your precision goes down. I'm sorry, up.
There was one where they had to come back and say that they misprinted it, and it was it's either precision or high impact. It was one of the low rate of fire.
Yeah. Then your rapid frames are going from you're basically getting like 1.25 points for your precision, and then you're getting like 0.9 extra damage just by default. So basically, you're getting a tiny auto rifle boost across the board to everything,
right.
except for your precision frames, which is the same non-precision.
Yeah, I believe it's like it's the.
So if you're not confused now, go look at the TWAB.
No, it's the high impact ones that are doing the same damage that they said in the TWAB. So they've kind of redacted that or gone back on what that was, because I think they were doing 35 point something damage that they said it was going to be, but apparently they already do that now. So either they're going to increase it or they're going to leave it the same. So we don't know at the moment. But saying that, Aztecross has a really, really good video on what auto rifles to look out for next season, and I will link that in the show notes.
So, and on that video, right? So he starts talking about the breakneck specifically because it goes from a 450 to a 600, and he's saying that
then
should
up to a 720.
Yeah, and then up to a 720. So that should, the damage increase is going to be based upon whatever rate of fire it's at that point. And then, so my question is the sweet business does the same? Well, I mean, it spins up, right?
A bit like the Suros, yeah.
So, but I guess that doesn't.
No, hold on. It doesn't spin up. It's a rampage-like effect. So every time you get a kill, it goes up faster. It won't just get faster just because. If that's what
the breakneck does, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was sort of hoping that it would get. It doesn't need to be buffed. It's perfect as is.
Actually, it does need to get buffed because tier 3 of your speed actually does less damage than everything else. So if you have
sweet business, buddy.
Oh, damn it!
That's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Walk it off.
I'm on the breakneck.
Hey, rub some dirt in it. You're all right.
Yeah.
But no, it almost sounds like they're trying to bring auto rifles back, right? Because they've been
as they should.
Right? Yeah,
I think
I can't.
Where they're adjusting the other weapons in the PvP sandbox, it's just making auto rifles maybe a little bit more viable. So,
well, he was saying that actually some of them are actually going to have like some of the lowest TTKs or time to kill.
Yeah.
Right. Like some of them are going to be down to like if you can land all crits, the TTK is going to be
0.77,
0.5.
about maybe. I can't remember off the top of my head. I thought it was 0.77.
So what I'm hearing is get your Actium War Rig, sit around the corner, put your reticle at Guardian head height, wait for them to peek the corner, and then just murder them.
It really is.
That's all
like,
I'm hearing here.
And so he was saying that the Suros regime is going to be with that spinning up perk, the one that the faster fire rate is going to be apparently pretty nasty.
Yes.
So that's, again, I'm interested to see it.
And paired with the Actium War Rig, it sounds like it could be quite devastating because after 12 bullets, it ramps up to 1 speed. Another 12 bullet, it goes up to the final speed. But if you've got the War Rig on, you're constantly pouring those bullets in there. And if you've got the deeper
you're getting
pockets,
an extra 10 or 15 rounds.
Yeah.
At that higher speed and more damage.
And if you've changed the element of your War Rig to be solar, so that you've then got all the bullets possible.
No. Not if, when.
When?
Day one, the moment you can.
Day one.
Yeah. All my
Spider and I are going to have a conversation, and whatever Banshee needs to make that happen, we're going to make that happen.
However many number of Grandmaster Nightfalls
you want Ada 5's leg? Not a problem. Hold on. Be right back. Hunter, give me that sword. I need it for a minute.
Really, anytime Bungie says, "Hey, we're making auto rifles a little bit better," I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm also really curious to see too what they're going to do. What our unstoppable and anti-barrier weapons are going to be for this season. Now, a more dedicated person would have made note of what exactly they were last season and what all they are this season. And
we went over
brought you a list.
We haven't had snipers and sidearms yet.
Snipers, sidearms, and fusion rifles most likely is what it's going to be this coming season.
Yeah. Those are the 3 I was thinking that haven't been done. I was trying to think if there was anything else I was missing. So it might be a real interesting season if you're running that Grandmaster Nightfall with your.
Haven't been used for any of those, have they? So shotguns.
Maybe that's a good thing, Respawn. Maybe that's a good reason why the sniper rifles have been brought down, why the fusion rifles have been brought down, because if they're going to be quite prevalent in PvE activities and quite high impact in those, you don't want them one-shotting the bosses as much. If they are going to be the barrier champions and the overload champions, you want them to be kind of that good range, but not amazing.
I mean, I could stand to have them do all of those things.
I know you could, but
Bungie doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, Bungie are like we've always said, Bungie are looking like 10 moves ahead in the chess game, and they've seen these things coming for quite some time. Of right, this is what's coming. We need to slowly adjust this to this point, like we've had over the last couple of seasons. So,
like they had the scout rifles buffed in Shadowkeep, and then they got the barriers this season.
Yeah. So your precision frames, which are going to get a 2% buff, are the Uriel's gifts and your Tiger Spites kind of thing. Your adaptive frames, I can't find one of those that quickly. So, yeah. No, that's a Wishbringer. I don't want Wishbringer up on my screen.
Looks like
hurts too much. Too soon.
Your Ghost Primus, your Ether Doctor, your Gnawing Hunger, aka your Sweeter Business, and your Arc Logic. Looks like there are adaptive frames, if Dim isn't lying to me.
Okay. And then for your rapid fire frames, you've got your Still Feather repeater. If you've still got one, you've got the guiding light or guiding star, from Dead Orbit, which is really good to compare it up against your Still Feather repeater. And then in your energy slot, you've got the Valkadins. So they're your fast firing, rapid fire ones, which hopefully will be
Dead
really
Orbit one from year one.
That's what he just said.
No, it was a secondary. It's a Void auto rifle. It's fast firing. Nobody else remembers it. It was a faction rally thing. Please continue. I'll be quiet. Old man's in the corner.
No, Night Demon has three of those in his vault.
Yes, it's Hollow Earth. Yeah, sorry. And then you've also.
Wait. How many of those do you have, Night Demon?
I've got one. I've got the Perseverance, which is also very similar. But in Astacross's video, he did pick up on a tweet that DMG sent out as a reply to 6FS, saying the team has been tinkering with a few different weapons and weapon archetypes for this season. In respect to Breakneck, you'll have to wait and see. Just a few short hours wait to see for the TWAB, relatively speaking. And then in that, there's capital letters spelling indirect. So indirectly, hopefully, they've buffed the Breakneck a little bit better than what it is doing at the moment. Because where it got a nerf, didn't it? I think, was that Shadowkeep? It got a bit of a nerf.
Yeah, I think it did because it was my go-to for a long time. And then when Shadowkeep dropped, I for those of you listening, Pan prefers quantity of bullets over quality of shot, and fight me, bro. It's the way I live. So it was my go-to. Like as soon as I got it out of however the hell you got it from the Drifter, like that's all I used. And as soon as that Shadowkeep dropped, I was like, this is garbage. I can't use it anymore. And we came up with the A10 Warthog loadout soon thereafter. So if they're bringing it back to its previous damage and whatnot, that's phenomenal. I'll take that all day.
But that is what I was trying to explain earlier. That's what I thought we were talking about, because it's not coming back to its previous, right? The first two levels of Onslaught, I think it is, Rampage. The first two levels of Rampage, the Onslaught perk actually is comparable, right? I can't argue with that. But the third stack of Rampage actually makes your weapon do less DPS than the first two stacks.
They fixed that.
Yeah, so I think what DMG is alluding to is that if they've indirectly changed archetypes and weapons, then maybe this might be improved, but you're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, Breakneck's a precision frame, at least for now it's a precision frame. They might change it, which is not getting any kind of change to its default, but it is getting, 1.5 points of damage extra to precision, damage. So it's not getting anything out of the box, at least from its type of weapon.
I think that's it for any of the weapon changes that they've actually kind of told us about. Has anybody got any more feelings about it?
I'm
happy auto rifles are going to be slightly better, but I'm always happy when that happens.
Sort of upset about the sniper rifle nerf, but it's understandable.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you something, AZ. DMG has gone on Twitter to basically tell you that aggressive frames will continue to shut down supers in PvP. Just aim for the head.
Like anyone else.
Congratulations. Get good, scrub. Thanks, DMG. Really boosting my confidence.
No, the things that makes me angry is, they're also attacking it because right now the grenade launchers, especially the grenade launchers, just are really the only viable way to DPS any kind of boss, whether it be a Nightfall, Raid, whatever. That's the de facto for boss damage, And they're like, well, you're not using anything else for boss damage, so we're going to nerf it. Well, we're not using anything else for boss damage because nothing else is worth it. Everything else has already been nerfed into the ground, and now you're nerfing this into the ground. It's like, do you not want us to play your game? Are you going to make everything so ridiculously hard to kill because you've nerfed the hell out of our weapons that we'd be better off throwing rocks at the enemy?
Just why people say you yell all the time, just as a heads up.
You say this, but
I'm just picking that. You're doing great.
You say this, Respawn, but recently, I'm sure, I'm trying to remember this, that wasn't there an increase to linear fusion rifles? Didn't they get a 20% buff in PvE? So you've got linear fusion rifles, which can also have a lot of ammo in reserve.
But even
so
with the
you've got
20% increase, they're not doing anywhere near as damage as some. Actually, they're not doing anywhere near as damage as all of these grenade launchers, regardless of the frame. You know?
No, but I think everything's now being brought back in line with you can use a sniper, you can use a linear fusion rifle, you can use a grenade launcher, you can use a rocket, you can use whatever your heart's content,
and
you will all kind of you can they will all do around the same amount of damage.
Right? Congratulations.
But
you're gonna have no fun anymore.
It's going to be swords. It's all going to be swords this season.
Yeah, right.
We're going to attack all my full bosses with swords.
Black Talons away.
Here's Pan's thought on Destiny sandboxes and metas and all of that nonsense.
Do I need to play the music? I'll play some music. Hang on.
Ever since Destiny 1, right? Ever since Destiny 1, the player base the community has found the quickest way to kill whatever you put in front of them, be it other guardians, raid bosses, nightfall bosses, what are the things on the planets? Public events, right? We find the absolute fastest way to kill things.
To kill anything.
Kill anything, right? And Destiny 1, Destiny 2, video games in general, right? People, for whatever reason, just want to get through and get their loot. And so inevitably what happens is there is a set of weapons that do that, right? And what I would like to see is I'm absolutely fine with them nerfing whatever they want to nerf to change the meta. But at this, I would prefer them to buff. Like, again, if you don't want us using sniper rifles, that's fine. Yeah, buff something else. Please don't buff shotguns, for God's sakes. Bows, right? Buff. Take sniper rifles and nerf them down. Maybe give bows a buff, right? Like, make it season of the bows. Who cares, right?
I mean, look, we've had this discussion before. I don't know if it was on air, but we've had this discussion where you make bows special weapons and give them the damage increase to match. I'd be completely okay with that. Just because right now they don't do as much damage for yellow boss for yellow bar and boss type enemies, except for the heavy, right? But make other bows, make new bows, make bows that are special weapons that can pick up on the damage gap.
No, but like, again, if you wanna nerf grenade launchers, that's fine. Give rocket launchers a buff, right? Don't arbitrarily increase the time it's going to take for us to accomplish the goals that you set out for us, just because you feel that the sandbox needs to be shaken up. That makes sense?
Yep.
And because the streamers are screaming about how there's nothing to do and it's too easy, meanwhile the rest of us are struggling to get through all of it because we aren't streaming 18 hours a day.
Give me Dado, I have sinned.
Yeah, kind of just like how they nerfed Rally Barricade and Luna Faction.
Right, yeah.
That was kind of a golden age of not breaking my immersion with reloads.
Yeah. I was doing Leviathan earlier today, and one person we were playing with actually left because we didn't one-phase Callus.
Ouch.
No.
I saw Dado do this. You guys are scrubs. Shut up.
Right?
LFG is a wonderful thing. Anyway.
Parody, would you like to take us through the balancing act, which is known issues?
Sure, we have known issues. apparently people are seeing massive negative silver balances. So there's some sort of imbalance in the economy with all the fractaline going in, and the silver is being stolen by Spider as we put it into the obelisks or something. So if you're seeing a very large negative silver balance in your account, Bungie's working on it. If you don't have any silver in your account and don't care, move on with your life. This doesn't affect you.
Is this an actual bug, or are you just joking?
No, this is an actual bug. No, it's an actual bug. Actually, Xbox has put out on their Twitter feed as well. Like
it's yikes from me, dog.
It's not Spider.
I thought that was just one of his dry humor jokes that I was trying to catch up with, and I was like, wait, no. He's giving us details. Is this real? Hold on.
No. I think other people are seeing. I have 0. It's still 0, but people are apparently seeing negative silver balances where I presume they had positive silver balances before.
It's not great. That's Sony and PlayStation is going to come down on them now. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. So, and apparently on Tuesday, which this may be no longer valid, but hey, in the Valley, Crimson Days emblem. So on Tuesday, Destiny Player Support received reports that code generation and redemption for the In the Valley Crimson Days emblem had ended approximately 9 hours earlier than expected. So to ensure players who had already generated the code have a chance to redeem their code or a friend's code, the deadline to redeem was extended until Wednesday's daily reset. Which, if this happened on Tuesday and they put it up until Wednesday and then told us about it on Thursday, don't see how that helps us, but sure, yes, absolutely. There's other known issues. There's a list. We link it in the show notes every week. If you're having an issue, go to the help forum. There's a couple more known issues. The full Hymn of Desecration stacks are being removed from players' inventories upon earning the final one. So if those are gone, they're gone. Your world chests in the Dreaming City are not dropping Glimmer. So sorry, it's all going into Spider. He has all the Glimmer.
That's where he gets all his Glimmer.
That's really funny.
Now, guys, okay, this one's big. This one's game breaking. The Aeon Safe. The Aeon Safe gauntlets list the incorrect requirement to activate the Aeon Energy perk in the armor inspection screen.
Oh, we've been doing it wrong this whole time! What was wrong. That's why they're horrible.
Players need to get melee kills to activate the Aeon Energy perk. So if you've been...
Mine said business kills.
That makes it a lot
So if you've been running
more
your
viable.
Aeon Safes just, in vain and wondering why, that's why. You've been doing it wrong the whole time, my Titan brethren. So punch things and you'll generate Aeon Energy, and then you'll be sad.
Who hurt you? Why are you wearing the Aeon Safes?
Did somebody lie to you? Somebody does not love you. Oh my gosh, damn. But no, I mean, at some point in time, let's just say, for example, they were stupid enough to hire me at Bungie, right? At some point in time, I would have to apologize for these exotics and be like, look, we thought it was a good idea. We were grossly mistaken. We will be removing these from the game entirely and giving you something else. We're not going to revamp them. We're not going to rename them. We're not going to do anything. They're just going to go away. We're gonna set a bonfire. We're going to do it in a live stream so you can actually watch us physically burn these exotics so that you never see them again.
I'm going to make an event of it. It's going to be Season of the Bonfire. Yeah. And all your Aeon Safes will disappear. Evil Levante is going to be there. She's going to give you an oven. It's going to have Aeon Safes. That's actually all it's powered by.
That's right. If you have an Aeon Safe,
you're still going to have the oven.
You can donate it into the oven, and it will meld it into something better.
Yeah.
Wait, guys. I figured out how we can bring faction rallies back. We bring the faction rallies back by giving our Aeon armor into the bonfire. We're going to donate the Aeon armor into the Eva's holiday oven, and the more we break down, the better our faction does.
I'm very okay with this.
Have my attention.
So it's now time for one of the best parts of the podcast, where we have to listen to Respawn tell us what the community managers have got to say for this week. So Respawn, would you like to take us away into the roundup for the news this week?
No, because you never sent me the email.
Everyone have their shots lined up for
Try
when he
again.
says...
I'm too young to take shots, but I got an Nalgene bottle.
Yeah, no, let him do it. He's got it. I know.
No one said you need to take alcohol shots. Mountain Dew shots, also fine. I'm going to need you to escalate the color as we go along, though. So you start green and you work your way.
No, make Az do it. I don't have the email. I don't have the report.
I'm going to help you out here, buddy. Hold on. There's this thing. I'm going to put it right here. And
I've put it in the podcast info. I've looked.
Yeah, but
you didn't.
But see, he's clearly not looked there. So I'm going to put it here where it's in front of him.
Yeah.
And this is a DestinyRoundup.com link to keep with our, Respawn reading to you. It will have some Reddit links inside of it, some Twitter links, and some forum links.
Hold on, just in case. I'm making sure you didn't HTTP this page. I'm clicking all of these links just to make sure.
As we discussed the other week, I put the links in the last time I conned you into reading something. Yes. So they will still go somewhere.
That had nothing to do with anything.
But they still went somewhere that you probably wouldn't even know about.
We have collaborated with Ramshackle Shotgun to actually embed what we wanted into Destiny Roundup this week, just so Respawn could read it, so he can make another song. So this looks like a very legit page that we've actually planted for Respawn to read to us.
No, I already checked it. These are legit links that take you where they're supposed to go. All right. So anyway, Cosmo, our dear loved one, Cosmo, the guy to which we can't live without, says that they understand, keyword, and agree. That the current introduction to Destiny 2 can be overwhelming for new players. Doy. They have a team working to expand it and finding ways to spend more time introducing players to Destiny's important concepts and features in the game. Nothing else to share at this time, as the team is still working through this, and it's a Reddit link about Bungie. I beg you, please rework the new player experience. Because I looked. But really, what are they going to do? Are they going to have like a step-by-step? Hey, in this DLC, do this in order to complete it or something?
Backstreet Boy song.
Like a
is that what we're going for?
List? I don't know. On the new armor system, as mentioned in This Week at Bungie link, which is actually the This Week at Bungie link, armor will be able to have 3 seasons of mods used in its seasonal slot. The current season, the previous season, and the upcoming season? Wait.
Yes. So we discussed this, didn't we, last week? So
yeah, but I thought we were going to have all seasons, not just 3. And how are you going to have mods for a season that hasn't come yet?
Well,
once that season comes, we'll have them. And also, we didn't have seasonal mods
for
these last 3.
So if you've got Season of the Dawn stuff now, you will be able to put Season of Undying, Season of Dawn, and then Season of Redacted on those armor pieces.
What, your armor ages now? Oh no, that was so 3 years ago.
It's always done that though. I mean, it's always been that to some extent. I mean,
no, but it's always been different armor that does that though. This is the same armor that just decides it doesn't like this mod anymore. Just because it got
to be fair, the mods aren't all that great anyway.
Oh, they are.
Oh, they're very nice mods. If you're not using them, you don't love yourself.
Well, I mean, there is that.
I don't love myself either. I still have only gone to one obelisk since we talked last week to buy the mods. I'm
going to come over there and I'm going to beat you.
Okay, you come over here. Properly. You come over here and buy my mods. I'm
going to film it and put it on YouTube
and sort out.
Bring it. I want to watch.
Great.
You do this properly, young man. You're on a podcast promoting all this good stuff. You do it properly.
Then let me get access to your vault, and I will clean all your vault issues out from now until Destiny 7.
No,
I will absolutely trade you.
No, where this is going.
So yeah, we said last week, didn't we, about
turned into a conflict.
The mod slots being able to put any season stuff on it, and Bungie weren't specific until recently with this Reddit link. I'm guessing it was, or tweets where they were saying, "Oh no, it's only the current season, the previous season, the upcoming season." So going forward, you're still going to need the new armor to get the mods as they progress through. So maybe keep Season of Dawn, and then a couple seasons down, keep one that then
like Night Demon. Keep everything.
No. I mean, I can't.
Hey, what does Omnigul sound like? She sound good? Yeah, no, I remember.
Well, I mean, like you can't keep these too long because they're all tied to the seasonal artifact, from these last 3 seasons. So I mean, it's not like at least they're not taking up physical space anywhere in an inventory somewhere. So honestly, when they if it is
that's not the artifact stuff. This is the stuff from like if you've got the raid armor, you'll be able to put the raid armor mods onto this season and next seasons. But
you can tell how much tell how much attention I pay to these mods. None.
And the mods from the obelisks should, touch wood, still be around once you've purchased them and you've got them. They'll still be available to be putting on your armor for the next couple of seasons, or the armor that you've got.
What about the Dreambane mods?
Yeah, the Dreambane mods will be across the next couple of armor pieces, but they won't go any further than like what they were saying here. 3 season of mods, and that's it, kind of thing. It moves on like that.
Yeah. But really, at that point, it may not be a moot point because, like, how many people are playing the Reckoning or Prime with those mods? Like, you keep the moon out long enough, the nightmare hunts, no one should be doing them. So having the mods and stuff based around that or the moon isn't going to be that useful.
But then, like I was saying, I agree with Destin Ligeri from IGN's Fireteam chat that yes, you're going to be able to free up some of the space in your vaults to get rid of some of the armor, but then a couple of seasons down the line, you're still going to want to collect comparable armor pieces because they'll have the new mods on it, but you still might want to use some of the old mod stuff. So where I've still got year 1 armor or 1.0 armor and 2.0 armor, you're not going near my vault. The vaults are filling up too much. You've got all this wonderful stuff that we want to keep and wonderful stuff that we use day in, day out. I mean, some of the weapons maybe not, but then you keep them for seasons when they change it to auto rifles, and you have a plethora of auto rifles to use.
Don't.
No.
It's nothing about your vault. It's nothing about your vault. It's fine. Okay, so you're going to be able to use the past 2 seasons and the current season in the current armor, or is it past, present, and future?
Yes.
Okay. In the current armor, correct?
Yes.
Well, the seasonal armor for every season, that armor that you get for that season can use past, present, future.
And we just said that we have an entire team of people working on making it less confusing when new people start playing. Is this? Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Fair.
Working as intended.
Working as intended.
No, I agree with you. It should be the mods go in any season's ones, but they seem to like with the affinities. The affinities is something you have to learn as well over time, as well as this now thing. But the thing is, they're telling us now, and people in the game now, and people that listen to the podcast and listen to YouTube videos will see that now and go, right, okay, right, we've got the hang of that. But then anybody that comes in later on down the line is not going to see that straight away. So I can understand where people are getting confused, and getting introduced into Destiny is like there's so many things that they suddenly change over and over and over again. That
up your spreadsheets.
Yeah, it's
and there's no good explainer, especially even in the game. What are these? Why do I care? What goes away when? The same problems that we're having as people who play this game. I remember, I've talked to Fuzzgo and some others who have either come back to it recently or new light folks, and it's like, how do you keep track of this? I'm like, well, you have to listen. Here's the 27 podcasts you need to listen to and the 47 YouTubers you need to subscribe to have some clue what it is you're doing, because none of it's explained to you in the game at all.
I mean, I was talking to him the other night, and he said he had a friend that had picked up Destiny that had never played before, and he's like, we spent like 2 hours going over like, currencies.
Right. Yeah. Like how, honestly, if someone was like, hey, I might pick up Destiny, I see it's free, I might be like, yeah, I don't know if, I think you'd have more fun playing something else, honestly. Like go.
Have you heard the Division is $3?
Yeah, like the Division 2 is $3. Go pick that up, or go jump back into Halo.
$3?
It is. Yeah, it is $3.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if I would recommend this to someone who, especially if they're just like, I'm looking for a new game, I want to play, just like pick it up, have some fun, and not dedicate your lifestyle to it. I don't think like it's not a casual game unless you have a little bit of investment, just because that learning curve is so high, and there's nothing in the game like just for fun. I got a new PC recently that theoretically would sort of play. It was a laptop that sort of play some games, and I downloaded Destiny 2 onto it just to see sort of what that new player experience. I didn't cross my accounts just to see if it would work. And I mean, poorly is how it works, because it's a laptop that's not meant for gaming. But just to see like what that experience was like, and it's like, yeah, it dumps you in, and it's like, all right, go escape things. Here's a tower, have fun, and you're like, okay, where do I start? Where do I go? What are all these people, and why do I care?
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? For us that have been playing the game since day one or for quite some time, once you get into the game, it's quite easy to kind of leave it for a week or two and still come back to it. And it hasn't changed that much. But then for people coming into it or been away for a considerable amount of time, it's still that learning curve is huge, isn't it? I mean, you could be away for a week sometimes and miss one of these patches, and then suddenly you come back and the whole game has changed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what threw a lot of my friends and my brother away from Destiny.
Yeah.
Especially when they were new and they wanted to play it with me. But it just became too confusing for them.
When did you start playing AZ?
Actually, a year ago.
Okay.
I bought the game before. I just didn't have much interest in it until Crimson Days came up. I was like, you know what? I'll pick it up.
And
As
did
you should.
You play it as much as you've kind of got into it recently, or was it just like one of those things that you played a little bit of every now and then with other games?
Yeah, it was like that until like one day I just started playing a lot. Like probably right after I beat Forsaken was when I started playing a ton, because that's when I bought the season pass.
Okay. So what do you think would help new players coming into the game to help speed up?
A better system for just allowing new players to learn, or even like a vendor who would just sort of just run players through the inventory, maps, quests, all that stuff. Like if you go to the inventory for the first time, you have no idea what to do.
Guided tooltips, or I think they try to do that, right? Like, because don't they start with like Zavala says go do like 2 strikes, and Shaq says go do 3 Crucible matches or whatever, right?
Yeah, but those are activities, not your inventory.
I haven't seen those in forever, man. I couldn't even tell you.
Like triumphs, collection, elemental affinities, different types of guns. But,
I agree with you that there should be something like that for new players in the game, but the problem is that the game changes so much and things change so quickly that they'll end up keep updating it, and they've got to have a team on that doing that all the time, haven't they? For new people coming in.
Although even I think even if they just did a like here's what Gambit is, because even if you go through and you play your your 2 Crucible matches, your 2 Gambit matches, your 2 strikes, and then you put the game away for a month and you come back to it, you're like, okay, I remember doing a thing, but I don't remember what it was. Having like some just some place to check in, or some place to just be like, hey, here's what I was trying to do. Like there being a tutorial, or even there being like Halo would do, I think, until you hit like level 5 or something. Like whenever you played Crucible or or PvP, it would put you into like the new player area. Like no one is above level 5. If you step into Iron Banner now, or into Quick Play now, or or whatever, and you're getting stomped by the Not Forgottens and the mountaintops, you're like, I will never come back to this. Like this, you're throwing you into the ocean day one, which is a terrible experience. I mean, you run Gambit, even if it's PvE, you're running Gambit going, okay, I'm trying to learn this game on the fly, because there's no explanation. Even as you're sitting in that opening thing, have the Drifter be like, even just like a short animation, Drifter being like, all right, find the enemy, kill the enemy, pick up the thing, put him in the bank. Like even again, you can learn it on the fly.
This is what a bank is.
Right, yeah, but there's nothing to tell you, especially if some of these maps you're like, okay, now I have these. Now where was the bank again? Which flashing icon in the distance do I need to be running toward, and which one do I need to be running away from?
Invader inbound. What's that glowing red light?
Yeah.
And that makes a good point. We have a lot of symbols, but they don't color code them, do they?
I just want to touch the little red light. Oh no, shouldn't touch it.
But no, they have all these different symbols, but like they don't color code them to.
They do.
To tell you what they mean.
No, they do color code them. It's just your eyes.
Oh.
Well, even the color coding and stuff. It's like, okay, what is this? Okay, there's a blue crown over this person in the tower. What does this mean, and why do I care? Why do half of the people in the tower have an icon over their heads and half of them don't? But then I go to them and there's nothing there. Oh, it's because the weekly bounty they have available you haven't completed yet, and if you inspect them in this screen, it'll show you. But if you go talk to the person, there's even no visual indication. If I walk up to Shaxx, be like, hey, why do you have a thing above your head? Well, because you picked up my weekly bounty and you're halfway through, but there's nothing at Shaxx to tell me that. I have to look at Shaxx through the map to see that, oh, I've done this, or find that bounty, or there's just, it's definitely a problem, and I don't know, I don't have any good solutions, and clearly Bungie doesn't either on how to fix this. Hopefully they'll roll something else.
Clearly Bungie doesn't either.
well, no, I mean, I'm just saying, obviously, I assume have accomplished what they wanted with getting more people into the world, but you dump it into the world. It's like, all right, kids, have fun. Don't get, you're dead now. Don't worry, you'll respawn again. Just try again. Go run free, little guardians. You'll be fine.
There are no respawns.
Just no, just no guidance, no anything. So I used to joke that Destiny, it's not a game, it's a lifestyle, and you either have to play it full time or not. And I think it's hard to do a little bit of half and half.
Yeah. So sorry, Respawn, we completely derailed you from your readings.
I noticed. I like the way that it was going. I mean, come on, right? All right, so we'll pass along feedback. Ding, 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 ding. Word of the day. Take a drink. That players would like to see rocket launchers changed in future updates. Let's check out this link.
Make them better.
Yeah.
Allow them to pass through Titan bubbles.
Oh my God!
God's sakes, bring back the Gallahorn. Come on.
No.
Why?
Why? Why? Because they're going to do the same exact thing to the Gallahorn that they did to the last Whisper.
Bringing back Trials. They're playing Destiny 1 all over again.
I love you so much, Respawn. The Last Whisper. You're going to hang on to that name.
You know what I mean?
Fake gun.
That's Whisper? Wait, that's not a real thing.
The Whisper of the Worm.
The Last Whisper.
The Whisper of the Worm. They brought it back the way we loved it, and
is that the
exact same way that we hated?
The sidearm,
the same
right?
thing to the Gallahorn. We've already discussed this. They'll bring back the Gallahorn in its glory, and then they're going to nerf it in the exact same way they did in D1 and D1 players, and possibly even D2 players.
They're gonna. Regardless, this is it's not.
Don't bring it back.
Happen.
Do not bring back the Gallahorn.
You met the community.
I will bring
so many dolphins. All dolphins.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny is just a nonstop rage train. No matter what, we hit the cycle where it's like, oh, this, we want that. It's like, no, you don't. You don't want this back because it's a stupidly overpowered thing we're going to drop on everyone's head, and then everyone will complain about it again.
And then it'll get nerfed again.
Kotaku article from years ago where it's like Destiny is a cycle. This is where you're at. This is where you're at on the cycle. And 2 weeks from now, you're going to be here, and then you're going to be mad again. They're going to change something. You'll be happy, and then they're going to mess something up, and you're going to be mad, and then they're going to change it. And sorry.
Look, the only thing that would make me happy in Destiny is if Bo's got Catalyst. That would be it.
And if you got 1K.
What?
1K.
Last season? Man, look, I have come to terms and accepted that I will never, ever get a raid exotic. I understand this.
We don't have to hear about it anymore. Let's carry on.
No, I'm still going to whine about it, but I'm just
because you're cut out. If you're whining, you're cut. That's it. It's just not faded out. Fade to black.
All right, I got to go radio silent white calling.
Okay, so
in the middle of your section.
Given the hunter has once again returned to the wild, so I will continue and let you know that Eva's onions that she puts in her oven that's still in your inventory will be removed in a future update.
Ava's onion oven should be removed in a future update. That's a Reddit link. That's also a real one.
Thanks.
Too many currencies is something that they're looking at. No timeline yet on when changes are coming, but they agree that there is a lot going on in your consumables tab. That is also a real Reddit link. They are looking. No. What was that?
It's a non-answer. It's
always a non-answer with him.
Yeah, but I mean, saying we're looking at it is a useless statement. Go ahead.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's why I always get tilted and they make fun of me. It's like, you're not saying anything.
Yeah.
We have top men looking into the issue. Who?
Exactly, yeah.
Men.
It's like, like we took the kids into the store today and my kid asked for something stupid because he's a child. And he was like, can I have a blah, blah, blah? And my wife's like, well, we're going to go look at this and then we'll think about getting that. And I'm like, that's a no. That means no. Don't ask that question ever again.
We're looking into we will look into getting this for you.
It.
Walk away.
I hope you forget about this problem is what they're saying.
Yeah. You're going to see something else shining in a different aisle and, then we'll readdress this.
Or we're going to screw something up so badly that we're going to have to revisit this, fix it, so you'll forget about whatever else we messed up earlier.
Something. I mean, I don't know. It is getting a little absurd with all of the changes, but we do have a lot of currencies. That I will agree on. Is anything going to happen? Hold your breath. Find out.
They're looking into
it. Hey, you want to hear something else? They're looking into the issue. Haha! Hot button. Where players can't redeem their Crimson Days emblems. Reddit link. The deadline to redeem it has been extended. We've already discussed this. Why are they saying it again?
Yeah, no.
Because it's a different document entirely, compiled by a different person entirely.
We'll pass along feedback, ta-da, about adding a freelance mode to Crimson Doubles. That actually isn't a bad idea. We'll let the dev team know some players would like the affinity system removed completely. Affinity.
Void solar arc on your armor.
Yes.
Why would they get rid of that? That's the basis of their armor 2.0.
I love the way you had to think about something that you've been moaning about for the last 6 months.
He just said affinity, and I play another game that has something to do with affinity, and I got confused. Okay, It's just a different kind of affinity. But when he said elemental affinity, then the bells went off. Anyway, we'll let dev team know you would still like the affinity system removed completely. For this change, we wanted to let players who pick up new items not get stuck with an affinity they didn't prefer, and also let players be able to change their current upgraded armor for a materials cost. We made a bunch of changes to the enhancement core economy, and it appeared to improve the system for a majority of players, giving feedback around the community. Let me know if you disagree. I disagree because you made it cost less cores, but more ridiculous materials, like the stupid little... I'm good. So, yes, they reduced the cost of freaking enhancement cores, but now you have to use shards and you have to use the freaking prisms. So you didn't reduce it, you just changed it to something more annoying.
Your mother and I are going to go look at some stuff over on aisle 4. We will come back and look at whatever you were talking about at a later date.
Right. And now the dev team is looking at increasing the ways you can earn materials in the future.
No, they're not. That's absolutely a lie.
Grand Master Nightfall.
Shiny object.
Yeah. I like the game. I hate the people that make it and admin it, and in general, they make me want to cry. Like a full-grown man crying like a baby. And that's it, by the way. If you're waiting for me to keep talking, there's nothing else to talk about. Just complaints.
Complaints all the way down.
So shall I move on to the few videos that I've got highlighted for tips, tricks, and builds and guides and all that?
Absolutely.
You shall.
Yes.
Okay, right. This one is like a build for hunters by Brave X Hero again. And apparently this one's quite prevalent in the Crucible. I'm not sure, Respawn, I'll ask you about this. A bow with hand cannon and lucky pants. Is this one that you've heard of?
Not with a hand cannon and lucky pants. No. Bows? Yes. All of those.
So what they're using is like an energy bow and a high impact hand cannon. So one like whatchamacallit?
They tag with the bow and then swap to the hand cannon.
Yeah, because the Lucky Pants, the Lucky Pants give you that really fast draw time on a hand cannon, and if you've got something, say like the Duke Mark 44, which is a really high impact hand cannon, I mean, it's not that forgiving because it's a 110 archetype.
But on the bright side, though, with the amount of health you have left after getting after getting shot once with a bow, when you swap to that Duke, especially, you can body shot and finish them off. You don't even need a precision if my math is right.
So what sort of range is that?
The Duke is really far range.
Is it
as a kind of rough estimate? It's got like an 84 range stat with a 92 impact, roughly. With if you've got accurized rounds and a couple of the scopes. And
how long is that comparable to like?
Yeah, but instead of using the Duke, what I was thinking of, because I've seen this video, when I was watching the video, I was thinking instead of using the Duke, you could also use something like the Crimson and heal, right? Because if you're shooting with the bow and swapping, most of the time you're going to get hurt. So if you're going to swap to the Crimson, and that kill will heal you, right?
There's been a lot of Crimson in Iron Banner this week. A lot of hunters with Crimson.
So, would quick access sling impact any of that?
Yes,
only if you're running.
Oh, okay.
No. Quick access sling is whenever you, if I'm not mistaken,
is it that empty? One of them's empty.
Yeah, when your mag is empty, you swap to your next weapon faster. So once you fire the bow is empty. So that could potentially increase the speed at which you swap.
Okay.
That one for free, hunters. Keep peeking those corners.
You say that, but if I peek a corner and I have lemon arc, you're dead.
No, you're
if you peek a corner, there's 954 bullets hitting you in the face.
No.
How's your flinch, bro?
At Steven, whenever we were playing Crimson Doubles, I used a bow, and I was killing people with the bow, and some of them had your Warthog A10 thing, and I still killed them when I peeked. I
I'm not
just
saying
didn't kill them if I had to peek twice. That's all.
But I laugh
kill them on the
harder when
first
you
peek
peek and die.
You can kill them on the first peek sometimes. It's that second time you don't want to peek. For all you hunters out there, do not peek the second time. Okay? I don't care what you do or what kind of loadout you think you have. Unless you have the truth and you're going to jump around the corner, do not peek that second time. That's all I'm saying.
And really, if your friend runs out in front of you and he gets shot, you should definitely run out to see what killed him. and like go no man is left behind. You should go collect the body and pull it back to safety every time. It's very important.
This is the PvP map with the heavies out on the island and the B capture points in that little like chapel looking thing.
Yeah, the shoulder charge map.
What that is?
I'm sorry, what? You know what? I don't care.
Cathedral or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. The cathedral. Yeah, the one that's in the church. Yeah,
I know what map it is.
I go stand. I don't take B. I just stand away from B in those rocks and fire into B. Oh my God! 6 kills and like 4 teabags later. It is an amazing thing. I love it. As Fuzzco has mentioned, the A10 Warthog loadout is cancer, and the buffs to auto rifles has metastasized us. So, good luck. Don't peek the corners.
No, it is cancer. And when did Fuzzco say that? Was he like?
He says that every time I start laughing hysterically when I watch Parody's gameplay footage of us in Crucible.
Yeah, every single time we mow down half the other team, peeking into 1,800 rounds coming at them at high speed, thinking, no, we've got this.
All they have are handheld.
When they kill the Titan with the sweet business and jump out and go, aha, then other Titan with the sweet business gets them. That's when they get really angry and send Pan the hate man.
Yeah, you should cut all of that. Go ahead. I rambled. 3 hours sleep. Let's do this.
It's fine though, because
Respawn went off on a tangent about the build that he saw the video for, and then decided to tell people to use a different gun to what the actual build is.
It just sounds better though. It flows better.
But doesn't.
The guy that's put this build together.
Does it matter which hand cannon you use?
Yes, it does.
It does, because not all of them will one-shot after the bow hits you.
So,
okay. Will the
with
Crimson
that,
one-shot after the bow hits you?
If you
Or
get
after
some
you get hit?
crits with it.
No. But listen. Right, listen. Right. So people have just been using normal energy bows, and they've been using the Duke with the Lucky Pants. So what he's done is actually swap it out for the hunters. He's used the Oath Keepers, which hold the bow charge. He's used the Le Monarque with the poison bow, so you can hold that bow with the poison charge indefinitely. And then he's used a quick draw hand cannon, and he's given you kind of 2 that you can choose from. The 10 paces, which everybody throws away because nobody uses it. It's a 140 archetype hand cannon that you can get from the gunsmith. But if you can get quick draw on it, you can literally body shot somebody after one shot of a Le Monarque, and they're dead. And the gameplay in his video is fantastic. You can also use the old fashioned, which also is a 140, and you can get quick draw on that. So those are 2 hand cannons that you can use with the build. But I just thought I'd kind of... No, go on.
No, it's regarding what you're talking about. Not all bows are created equal, right? If you look at the arc energy bow, which, damn, I can't remember what it's called right now. Arsenic Bite.
Trinity Ghoul.
If you look at Arsenic Bite and you look at its void equivalent, the Subtle Calamity. Subtle Calamity looks like it has higher impact, right? It's a 76 as opposed to a 68 on an Arsenic Bite. And I don't know why this is. You can test it yourselves and you can see for yourself. But I have an Arsenic Bite with an explosive head, and I have a Subtle Calamity with explosive head. And my Arsenic Bite, like I said, shows lower impact, but it does more damage to Guardians than the Subtle Calamity. It does more damage to actually everything than the Subtle
That's
Calamity.
not going to help this build because you're using the exotic bow, the Le Monarque.
Right, no, but
energy.
we're talking about... I kind of backtracked to the other one a little bit. If you use the Arsenic Bite, you're going to do more damage, and it's going to be easier to one-shot the Guardian than if you use the Subtle Calamity.
Yeah, but this isn't the build that I'm talking about. You go and do your own build. You go and do your own build.
Give a mom and dad fight.
I've done the build. That's how I'm telling you that this works.
Well, nobody wants to know about your build.
Everybody wants to know about my build.
No, they don't.
Is there a video? If there's not a video, we don't care about your build. No video, no build.
Oh, there's a video and a build.
Right, yeah. So when Respawn finally does it next year, we'll actually highlight it in the show notes. But until then, you've got Brave X Heroes version of the Le Monarque and the hand cannon setup for hunters. Moving on, True Vanguard has done.
Go ahead.
True Vanguard has done a how to improve your hand cannon shot. Goes over like 5 simple rules to help anybody that's kind of new to hand cannons or actually wants to try and get into using hand cannons.
Make me, you're not my real dad.
I'm not making you, but if anybody
Vanguard is not my real dad.
Yeah, but if
you sure about that?
I am.
If you want to try using hand cannons, especially with maybe trials coming back, it's going to be something that's going to be quite prevalent. Hand cannons, you know, some of the top skill players just use hand cannons. You want to get into that kind of skill bracket?
Nope.
And not the 810 Warthog loadout, then there's a video for you. And the last one, because I've thrown all the other videos into what we were talking about with the weapon changes, is an insane DPS sniper that is going to be better than Izignami Burden, apparently, according to Jarv anyway.
Next week or 41 days or whatever the hell the next thing is.
10 days, I think we've got.
Yeah, okay.
So Jarv has put a video together on how to get the Trophy Hunter sniper rifle and what role you want to look for. So this is the one that you can get from doing the obelisks. And there is a roll on it that you can get, which is hopefully going to do... I think it was with the Vorpal perk on it, because that does extra boss damage. So you can get that with a couple of different things on it that will do more DPS than the Izignami Burden. So there is a video for that.
Did you say how to get the Trophy Hunter? In addition to what role?
I wasn't going to say anything, but now we're here. Could you go over that for me? I'm confused.
In his video, he tells people how to get it. So people that don't know how to get it. I know how to get it. You know how to get it. Other people may know how to get it. But other people that don't know how to get it, he goes over it. Okay, I'm not arguing with the guy. That's what's in his video.
You're going to need to come down with a squad of 9. That's the first step.
So I have now finished with all my tips, tricks, and all the tips and things. I know it took longer because Respawn put through his own build in there, which doesn't make any sense.
How does it not make sense? One bow does more damage than the other, and it's easier to one-shot the Guardian. The fact that you say that makes no sense shows your ignorance when it comes to these kinds of things. Oh, this
1v1, mate, bro. 1v1.
This what? Dude, I don't want to embarrass you like that.
No, I don't want to embarrass you.
How much you want to bet?
When this is happening, and which I'm going to need both of you to stream it because we need to have both perspectives, and I need to have angry British shouting and Respawn just getting higher and higher pitched as he gets angrier.
Oh, Respawn doesn't get angry because Respawn knows the skill level between me and Demon.
Because Respawn's angry all the time, just like the Incredible Hulk. I don't get angry; I just start angry, and that way I'm there already.
Nah. Whenever I actually respect the person that I'm playing against, then I might get angry. But when I'm playing against a British child that thinks he's good at a video game, then
Wait. Hold on.
He doesn't let the children play against you or talk to us because we're all evil Americans.
So you only get angry when you respect the person.
Don't try to break it down. Don't try to break it down.
No.
You're just going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, I need an explanation now. Go ahead.
Parody, close the show. Parody, go for it. Mute everyone else.
Thank you for joining us. Your Titans have been Parody, Night Demon, and Panoramix18. Your Hunters are no one Respawn in real life and AZPlayz1128. You can email the show at 2titansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can hit up the show on Twitter at 2titans_hunter. You can find us on Instagram at 2titansandahunter, all spelled out. Find us on Facebook by searching 2titansandahunter because Facebook is dumb and has dumb links. You can join the Frozen Clan at join.frozen.party. That's Frozen with a 0. You can find your favorite Guardians on Xbox Live and Respawn on PC, as well as some other people who play PC. Join us on Google Stadia. Don't join us on Google Stadia. No one has Google Stadia. Google Stadia is not a real thing.
That's correct.
You can watch the show on YouTube. You can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere the finest podcasts are sold. And since we started talking, Guardians have donated 26 million Fractaline. Make sure you put your Fractaline in your local obelisk and pick up weapon frames, like the Trophy Hunter. Because remember, Guardians, weapons become shards, and shards become more weapons. It's a circle of life.
With diminishing
say goodbye, Jens.
Bye.
Bye.